everyone. Today we hear from the first place winner of the Innovators Pitch Challenge at RESI Boston this past June, MindLab. Out of 54 companies that pitched to a panel of investor judges, MindLab stood out and took the top spot. Today we'll hear about their experience at RESI, where they are in their fundraising journey, and what's next for the team. Can you introduce MindLab and share your company's technology?
Sure. Caitlin, I want to thank you and the Life Science family for bringing us here to this talk regarding the spectacular win that we had at the RESI conference in 2025. It's an honor to be selected from among a huge list of participants, especially those with all the new AI tech companies and oncology companies. And I always like to call us a little red engine that could. It's up here, competing against those. So Jeff and I are very happy and grateful about that. To get to MindLab, we are a paying company. We believe we have created what should be a total disruption of the morphine market. It is a combination of dextromethorphan, morphine, and quinidine. And when you put the three of these together synergistically, it has allowed us to offer a better version of the gold standard that's currently out there. And Jeff and I had talked about this on numerous occasions of what makes MindLab unique, and I would love to hear his thoughts on the matter as well.
Yeah, sure. Just to kind of get into it more, what makes this product in particular unique is, to us, the beauty and the synergy between the three different compounds, right? We have morphine, which we know is an opioid analgesic. It's been around for decades and decades, so we really have a lot of knowledge about it. Then the dextromethorphan is kind of the key that unlocks this whole product and really is the key that enhances morphine's ability. And it does so very specifically around its mechanism of antagonizing NMDA receptors. And that does two very specific things. It helps enhance the analgesia of morphine because it provides another independent analgesic pathway for this product to enhance analgesia. And it also blocks the release of dopamine in certain reward centers of the brain. And that dopamine release occurs when we take any type of opioid, including morphine. And that's what's related to opioid-induced euphoria in pathways, around abuse, liability, and addiction. So dextromethorphan, that ability to block dopamine release and potentially the ability to reduce euphoria, have implications around abuse liability, really, really help morphine when we're trying to use it, of course, from a pain perspective. The problem with dextromethorphan is that it's very quickly broken down. So we need very low dose quinidine to help boost dextromethorphan levels about 30-fold in circulation in our blood. And the quinidine doses that we use are so low that they don't actually exert any type of pharmacologic activity. So it's relatively safe from that perspective.
So my next question was going to be your scientific approach, which you just really went into. But let me ask you, what sets you apart and what's your competitors looking like?
Well, we have the traditional pain medication that's currently out there, which the market has been trying to move away from because it's opioid based and the opioid epidemic and all the things related to Purdue, so forth, has caused many people to move away from that. So there's been this huge push for non-opioid alternatives, and some have come to market, but as people know that work in the pain world, there's no one way to get to helping and treating all of the pain patients. So we do not believe that the drugs out there will be able to help for the type of problems that people that MOB-001, which is what our drug is called, will be able to help with. As Jeff described, it's a triple mechanism platform, but it just isn't a drug. It's a total paradigm shift in the way of pain management and how things are being treated and how we're going to treat people, because we're able to take simple, well-known morphine and provide it in such a new formulation that the people in the healthcare market will feel comfortable using it, as long as we substantially prove the things that our claims. And if we do get robust claims, then we imagine, as we said, that it's going to be almost a complete disruption of the current morphine market. So our competitors are doing similar, but not quite the same thing.
No, I was just going to add, in the particularly acute pain market, and like Larry just mentioned, the morphine market, Yes, while there has been that shift into looking at opioid alternatives, for acute pain, post-op pain, severe, moderate to severe types of different types of acute pain, opioids are still the mainstay. They are still first line in the vast majority of those cases. So to us, it's about how can we optimize certain opioids, potentially making them safer, especially around, again, abuse liability, but also enhancing the analgesic effects that ultimately allow us to use lower doses as well. That acute pain market in particular, we're still using opiates. They're still needed, but that's where the innovation we think can really elevate what's out there.
And what stage are you currently in, and what milestones are you guys working on in this year, 2025, or 12 months out?
2025, we're looking to start our phase one trials. We are raising funds. We're in a Series A fundraising mode. We have 3 million that has been committed to us thus far. We're looking to raise an additional 9 for $12 million to take us through our phase one trials and our first trials in humans. We believe once we're able to do that successfully, which we do not see it being a problem, considering we have the ability to use data from Avenir, who has a combination of dextromethorphan and quinidine. And it was the quinidine aspect of the combination that allowed the dextromethorphan to be dosed at much higher levels than the FDA would previously allow. And that was the pretty big aha, of this drug. So with that, and we complete the phase one trials, we'll then be moving into our phase two and starting our first Series B on fundraising efforts. We're very excited about the possibilities and how this product is going to, revolutionize what's currently out there and really help people get there. I mean, it's morphine, but it's morphine with a twist. We like to call it morphine plus in the back of our little rooms when we're joking around talking, but that's pretty much what it really is. We're taking it and making it better so people could have the opportunity to get a drug at a really cost-conscious price and help them with their pain. I mean, don't you agree, Jeff?
Absolutely, 100%.
And so, what type of investors are you looking to attract?
It all depends on the state. Right now, we're looking to get investors who know somewhat about the CNS world, who know about the pain world, who understand and believe in us, who can offer some of the guidance and expertise to help us along the way and moving into that very strategic phase two trial. And once we start our phase twos, then we will be looking more to going towards the pharmaceutical companies and someone who will be looking to take the drug and then really build it out and go all the way full to market with it.
And winning in the Innovators Pitch Challenge, first place, congratulations, is a major recognition. And that was at RESI Boston, June. What do you think resonated most with investor judges about your pitch and technology? And I also want to add that I was letting you guys know that in addition to winning the entire Innovators Pitch Challenge, you also were the top pick of the investor judges in your session. So
Yeah.
congratulations there too.
Wonderful.
As you can see from the smile on my face, it's just amazing. I'm going to tell you why it's amazing. With all of the noise that's out there regarding opioids, and we're scared to invest in this particular market. We don't think that people are interested in giving you a dime in order to take another pain drug. We're looking for non-opioid medication. And to have morphine, which is an opioid, compete against other individuals that are having some of the new AI technologies, and some of the presentations were absolutely amazing, and I would have voted for them. They were stellar. So we had this huge group of people that were amazing, and for us to win, I'm just still stunned. And I'm not the most modest person in the world sometimes, but that was something that just took the breath out of me. And I'm very grateful that we had the opportunity. I mean, Jeff and I were talking about it, right, Jeff?
Yeah. I mean, it's wonderful, and I think it speaks to the recognition, like we've been saying, about pain, right? Pain is the most common condition out of all clinical conditions any human experiences. Pain is the most common, especially acute pain. Not only do most of us know people who have gone through certainly severe types of acute pain, most of us go through acute pain at some point, right? And again, I think it speaks to this need within the market to develop better types of modalities to treat acute pain. And even if that's still an opioid, can we figure out ways to minimize some of the potential side effects and to enhance, again, the analgesic capabilities of them? I think it also spoke to the recognition around the importance of all of that.
And so then tell me, like, when you were just participating in RESI, and what was the most valuable aspect of that? Was it the pitch exposure, partnering meetings? Did you get any direct investor feedback while you were there?
All of the above. First, I like to tell you that we thought, at least I did, that, oh my God, I must not have done a great job because we were under fire. But now I realize that they were asking such deep, profound questions because they were really excited and interested in it. You never know where it's coming from. So I believe hearing the questions that they were asking us allowed us to think about, better and different ways to talk to people about the drug that we are trying to bring to market so they could have an understanding of what it is that we're really trying to do, to show them that this is morphine, just better. Because everybody's familiar with it. Like Jeff said, we all go to the hospital, we all have surgery. When they're looking to choose between A and B, they says, we're going to tell us something we're more comfortable with. So having those questions asked was a really good way for us to understand that. And then for me, Jeff may have had a different experience talking to the people in the one-on-ones and having the 30-minute ability to like really get granular about the investment potential. And once people understood that the morphine market was going to grow to $32 billion in 2034, and we had a drug that potentially would disrupt that market, even at 20%, you're looking at a $6 billion annually a year drug that will be in the market that only will cost $70 million to get to market because we are not a complicated product. A lot of safety data already out there. So we're but we do have patents that protect us all the way through the next 10 years. So I think for an investor who really understands, and even if you don't understand it that much, maybe after looking at this video, you'll have a better understanding of it. You will call MindLab up and say, I think I need to help you guys help save these patients who are suffering. Jeff, please tell them about how hard it is for people to get opioid medication for pain now.
Yeah, even in inpatient, even acute pain, we've seen prescribing and ordering where it is now. It's going toward like it was in the late 1980s, which, is well before the opioid overdose epidemic as it kind of came to pass and realized. So it's a problem. And like we keep saying, unfortunately, for severe types of acute pain, there's just not great alternatives right now. There are certainly additional therapies, additional treatments to add on, but there's just not great options outside of opiates for those very specific types of pains. So you couple all of that and it makes it almost impossible, and that's why there's such a need for these types of innovative products.
It's fascinating. And you're right. I mean, just it really affects every single person.
Yeah.
Has an experience with this type of thing. I liked how Larry said about being under fire because the investor judges in the room, they are tailored for your sector. And so I always think it's a good thing when you're getting lots of questions, much better than the alternative of not many questions, which doesn't bode well.
Right.
Last question for you guys before we sign off is what would you say to other founders thinking about applying to pitch at future RESI conferences?
I would tell them to make sure they use the one-on-ones, to not be daunted by not receiving a lot of invitations early on, that a lot of the investors from the experience that we just had started to make the appointments the week of. So if you're sending them out 3 weeks early, so you're saying to yourself, let me start so I can get these people involved. It doesn't happen. And I believe it's really very helpful to do the research on the people that you are going to meet. I mean, a deep dive, so you can understand what they are truly looking for. And then you could come across explaining your drug in a better way.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to evolutionize, your pitch and what you're saying, like Larry said, based off of feedback you get. It's such an important part of the process because it also is almost a mini training of when you're going to be speaking with investors and teams of investors, whether that's private equity or, larger funds. It's a very similar environment, I feel like. And it's to be able to kind of evolutionize and continue to adapt and tweak how you're presenting really can make a big difference.
A quick question. Have you guys refined your pitch since RESI? Like, did it make you think about it?
We were refining it real time.
Yeah.
After every time we had a conversation with someone, it said, oh, and it was a thought, we would exchange ideas and then we would add something to it. So definitely.
Yeah,
Wow,
absolutely.
This is great information. It was really great to catch up with you both, and I look forward to seeing you at future RESIs. Thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you as well. And investors, help us change the world. We're waiting for you.